What's up, guys? We're here back, Wednesday Word Study, Blessed Part 2, and we're starting right now. All right, so we're going to begin right here at Psalm 1:1. If you remember from before, we looked at the word Barak, Hebrew number 1288. And this time, we're looking at the word blessed from Psalm 119, Psalm 1, and we're going to look where else this word is used, because it heavily deters our thought process on what we think when we say in English, bless you. What does it mean? So let's begin. Psalm 1:1. Blessed is the man who shall not walk in the counsel of the wrong, and shall not stand in the path of sinners, and shall not sit in the seat of scoffers. So my background's a little different. Normally I'm outside, but it's super windy out there, and it won't pick it up on the mic. Or me, so we're indoors. Got my laptop in front of me and we're reading directly on here. We'll get on screen to show you the scriptures in just a moment. Psalm 1:1. Blessed is the man who shall not walk in the counsel of the wrong. So blessed, looking at the King James, I was reading from the scriptures ISR, by the way. King James, blessed, 835. All right. Let's look and see how many times and where this word is used. And what I want to know is, what is your opinion of what you think blessed means to you? Does it differ than what we're going to find out here? Should we align our thought process to the people who wrote the Bible, and those were Hebrews? Our thought process is a Western perspective, meaning very abstract, not concrete, not looking at function, but rather looking at, I don't even know, I can't even think of it. Here's the best way to define something if it's abstract or concrete. If you can draw it on a picture, then it's probably concrete. If you can't draw it on a picture, then it's probably abstract. Draw faith on a piece of paper. Draw hate. Well, yeah. Some of these you can, but they're going to take an elaborate picture to convey your point. You can articulate it through that way, but it might take some skill as opposed of a concrete word like, man, my mind has gone blank when I'm trying to think of all this stuff. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Or at least I hope you do. If not, we'll make a video on that too. So, happy is where I see it most of the time. It's already looking in the Englishman's. Deuteronomy 33:29, 1 Kings 10:8, 2 Chronicles 9:7, Job 5:17, Psalm 1:1, Psalm 2:12, Psalm 32:1. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times happy is used, and then in the 3 instances I mentioned the Psalms, we got blessed. So far it looks like the word happy. But how does that mean you're blessed? That better demonstrates what we had before on Barak, the bait, the resh, the calf. So this word is blessed or happy is what we're looking at the translators choosing in the King James. So what does it mean? What does it mean to say, may Yahweh bless you, or blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of the sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful? This is King James verbiage I'm reading here. Or Matthew chapter 5. Blessed are the poor in spirit, whenever Yeshua is speaking. What does he mean? Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of Yahweh. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies, and that seek him with their whole heart. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. So, what does this in turn truly mean? Blessed, happy. Well, it's the Hebrew word asher or ashar. It's the aleph, the shin, and the resh. Let's dive in on screen, take a closer look at this word, and find out what this means from a Hebraic perspective. Be right back. Okay, Psalm. I missed him. There we go. Psalm 119, verse 1. Okay, so we got, blessed are the perfect in the way who walk in the Torah of Yahweh. Let's go to King James. Pull that up. Okay, blessed, Strong's Hebrew number 835. So we got where it says Asher. We got the Aleph, the Shin, the Resh. It says happiness, blessedness, often used as an interjection. Blessed are from 833. Now here's how the Strong's defines this. Happiness, only in masculine plural construction as an interjection. How happy. Okay, let's not really doing us a favor. Ashar, here we go. Now look at how the Brown Driver Briggs says right here. To go straight, walk, go on, advance, or make progress. To go straight on, make progress. To go straight on, advance. To lead on, to set right or righten. To pronounce happy, call blessed. Now these are different call, PL, pual, different verb formats of the word. To be advanced, be led on. To be made happy, be blessed. Okay, we see that it says something to do with happy and be blessed, but that's pretty abstract. A primitive root, to be straight, used in the widest sense, especially to be level, just weights, balanced scales, right. Figuratively, to go forward, be honest, prosper. Okay, 17 times it's used, and I'll show them in here. We can also use our Englishman's Concordance right here to see exactly where it's used. So we're going to go to the Ancient Hebrew Lexicon of the Bible, and we see that it comes from this 2-letter root. I'm also going to pull this here, the Etymological Dictionary of Biblical Hebrew by Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch. He is passed on now, but still has a lot of good commentary to give you an Hebraic perspective or Eastern mindset according to the language. What were we saying? Aleph, Shin, Resh. Okay. Aleph, Shin, Resh. So he defines it as progress, move forward. He also states being in successful progress, walking straight forward, living in the plains, sacred trees offering divine blessing, counselor. These are cognate variants. And then, let's see. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so he gives Psalm 17:5. So we're going to look at Psalm 17:5. I'm going to pull that up on my computer right here. Okie Well, sorry, we're going to look Psalm 17. If you want to follow along, open up to Psalm 17:5. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. So it looks like the word my goings, Strong's Hebrew number 838, is cognate related to this word here, 833, ashar or asher. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps don't slip. So it looks as if there's a certain path that man is to take, and on this path we see that he's asking for the strength from Yahweh to keep his path straight. So let's go back to Psalm 119, and I'll read this for you with this newly found interpretation of what this would mean. Blessed are the undefiled in the way who walk in the Torah of Yahweh. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with their whole heart. So this kind of changes the meaning of how we look at this verse and others like it. So remember that it was meaning something to make straight, progress forward. So we see that this 3-letter word, the Aleph, the Shin, and the Resh, comes from this 2-letter root here. And on screen, it shows that its action is to tie. Concretely, it's a cord. And you combine these two pictographs, the Resh and the Shin, and it means press the beginning. And it says that ropes and cords were usually made of bark strips, such as the cedar, or from the cedar, or from the sinew, which is the tendon of an animal. The rope is made by twisting 2 fibers together. A single fiber is attached to a fixed point at the top, which would be called the head, is why they have the picture of the Aleph there, because the picture of the Resh, So they affix it to the top, and the Resh can signify first, top, or beginning. So you got the head of the end of the rope. Notice how you got the head of something, which signifies the top of it or beginning of it. And the two ends of the fiber are brought together. One fiber is twisted in a clockwise direction and wrapped over the other fiber in a counterclockwise direction. The second fiber is then twisted in clockwise direction, then wrapped around the first fiber in a counterclockwise direction, similar to a double helix form, creating strands to press the fibers together, creating rope, is what it's essentially talking about. The process is repeated through the length of the rope. The twisting of the fibers in opposite directions causes the fibers to lock, and this is the pressing together at the heads. The rope is used to tightly secure or support something, such as a load to a cart or the poles of a tent. Okay, so we want to go down to section C, subsection V, and here we go. Ashar, Aleph, Shin, Resh, concretely straight. So if we take the idea of taking the ropes and we're pressing the beginnings of these ropes, I can think of some pictures off the top of my hand that what is the function of a rope? Now they said that it was to bound a tent or to tie it up, keep it upright, to keep it straight. You know, if you've ever been out camping and you have a line and you use it to pull up your tent and it tightens as a guide wire, it'll hold your tent canopy up with a nice firm structure. Same if you've ever been fishing and you create a trot line out in the water, you attach its ends to two set points, either a tree bank and the other to a dock or a rock underneath the water, and you run that line and you bait it and you got a straight line underneath the water. Same as if you are on a climbing some type of a treacherous, maybe I shouldn't use that word, a dangerous hike at a significant elevation on a mountaintop, and oftentimes the guides will have their trek poles and they'll have a guide wire that runs along their team who are trying to reach a certain point of a summit as their destination. So you can tell that this wire, this rope, signifies something that is guiding us, that's keeping us straight. So let's kind of re-put these words into Psalm 119 verse 1 and 2 in the essence of straight and guided are the undefiled in the way. So here we are in a certain way that we're traveling, and what we're using that is keeping us on the straight and narrow path is the Torah of Yahweh by belief in Messiah. So we have who walk in the Torah of Yahweh, right? So here we are using this guide wire, this rope, if you will, same way as if you've ever been rock climbing. You know, on belay, and you tie in, attach yourself to the rope as a safety harness, and then you use it as your guide as you're moving up the rock or mountain or cliff, whatever it is you're scaling. And you reattach your set points into the rock, and you refeed your guide wire through the loop, and you attach it to your carabine on your harness, and you begin your trek up the rock. And you continue that way until you reach, again, your destination. And so you're using your rope or your line as a guide wire. And so straight are the undefiled in the way who walk in the Torah of Yahweh. Straight are they who keep his testimonies. Because if you're not walking contrary to his ways, well, you're going to be walking straight. However, if you're walking a crooked path, it's not going to be straight because you're walking in opposition to what he is telling us to do otherwise. So here we have concretely, this word means straight. A cord pulled tight is straight, as we were talking in reference to the guide wire. Now, if you've ever been scuba diving, very deep depths or in the caves, oftentimes people will use another guide wire, some type of rope, as their point so they can use it to follow their way back out of these underwater caverns. And it's a reference point. What is our reference point? Unto our goal, the Torah, to get us unto Messiah. For he is the goal, it's at the end. If we follow in these instructions, they will let us get to that tree of life. As Revelation 14:12 says. So look at section B here on the screen. It says happy. One who is happy is one whose life is lived straightly. So this is where we get the abstract term happy. Because happy is he whose life is lived justly, straightly, according to the Torah of Yahweh. So let's go back to Psalm 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel. Let me change it to the scriptures. Happy and straight is the man who shall not walk in the counsel of the wrong, and shall not stand in the path of sinners, and shall not sit in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the Torah of Yahweh, and he meditates in his Torah day and night. For he shall be as a tree planted by the rivers of water, that yields its fruit in its season, and whose leaf does not wither, and whatever he does prospers. For Yahweh knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wrong comes to naught. So you see that straight is the man who shall not walk in the counsel of the wrong, because happy is he whose life is lived straightly according to what? The delight of he who is in the Torah of Yahweh. So we have the Aleph, the Shin, and the Resh. The Aleph is the ox, denotes the strength, the power, the leader. The Shin is the picture of two front teeth, meaning join together, pressing, crush, destroy, two. And then the Resh, again, is the picture of the head of man, meaning first, top, or beginning. So what do you do with an ox? You would normally take the older oxen, and he would be yoked together with a younger, immature oxen, and the younger, immature oxen would eventually be tamed according to the older oxen by example, from being yoked to him. Yeshua had said, "Take upon my yoke, for my burden is light, my yoke is easy." So here we are to yoke ourselves to our leader, Mashiach, who lived perfectly obedient to the Torah and encouraged living Bible obedience to Yahweh's instructions. As we press ourselves to this yoke, who is our Messiah, then we can be led back to the tree of life that was in the beginning. I hope you have found this teaching as a blessing to you. And I hope you also can use it to your advantage in your own personal studies. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think, and if you have a word that you would like to be taken back to this ancient Hebrew perspective to get a newfound look at those who pen the scriptures in Hebrew. Shalom. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. Have a great week coming up. Till next time. Bye-bye.